Check. Yeah. Yeah. First Amendment be the realest thing they ever wrote. Don't like to regurgitate, so that means I'll never choke. I never bite my tongue, cast my uncounted vote. Been broke the chains of the mental noose around my throat. So let me talk about these religious folks. Thrown around in them business, whole congregation be broke. Claiming that you'll be blessed if you just touch on their road. They taking everything from you like Satan did Job. So they crying and tithing, praying and they baptizing. The singles laying their hands, chastising, monopolizing. They say they preaching the truth, but yet they hide behind lies. They say they do this for Christ, but they just snakes in the sky. They tell you come as you out, but when you come as you out, instead of embracing you with love, you with judgmental scar. But I ain't talking about all, but I've experienced the most. You go to church to seek God, but they are not even close. It seems to reign in the solitude when the feeling the most. And it's a sad, sad world, can't congregate with church folk, but I ain't tripping over none of that. I know that God loves me, and at the end of the day, only God can judge me. First Amendment, First Amendment, First Amendment, First Amendment.
Peace to everybody in the building.
First Amendment, First Amendment.
We're gonna get it in tonight, family. So much to talk about, you know.
First Amendment, First Amendment, First Amendment.
We listen to the JD Polo.
First Amendment,
First Amendment.
First Amendment, First Amendment. I don't get my own blaming everything. I don't tell our vision and parents raising up ratchet kids with no supervision instead of raising up men. Raising up little niggas just because you kill your brother. Don't make your balls grow no bigger. And then these precious little girls growing up with no purpose instead of raising up women, they baby mamas and twerkers. Dope boys and prostitutes instead of 9-to-5 work. Materialistic parasites in school they can't even focus. Brainwash, zombie, fine walking dead, no substance. Pill popping, weed hit it for self-destruction. So let's talk to our youth, show them positive things. So rise up and claim your throne, my young kings and queens. First Amendment, 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 First Amendment. My own thoughts, my own opinion.
All right, so peace to the fam. I see Shaq Rock, King Black is in the building. Letitia AM is in the building. Peace to you, beloved. Peace to Virgo Venom. And I see Sheed, we here. We in the building. So peace to the family, y'all. That was JD Polo. She produced that. She wrote that. She might get mad with me for playing it live on air, but she wrote that song years ago. First Amendment, first verse, she's going at the church. And in the second verse, she's going at, bad parenting, in the Black community, which is something that we usually don't talk about, right? We're so busy talking about racism and the white man, but bad parenting is also, a major issue in the Black community. You got a lot of maldeveloped people due to being raised in, a dysfunctional family. I mean, let's keep it a buck. A lot of broken people, due to being raised in a broken family. So anyway, family, I know you see me repping hard. Morgan State University. Our pep rally is Friday. Our homecoming is Saturday. I know we're going to lose, but, I know y'all probably say, dang, God, she alumni and she teach there. And she's saying that, yeah, we lose every year. But guess what? I'm still going to rep my school and I'm still going to wear my hoodie and give it the old good Morgan spirit, but I know we're going to lose. But anyway, family, shout out to Morgan State University. Our homecoming is this weekend. And this month is a lot of homecomings are happening. I know Howard's homecoming is coming up soon. Theirs may be this weekend or the weekend after next. And a lot of the, A&T, a lot of the colleges down south, they normally have the homecoming around this time. But anyway, shout out to all of the HBCUs. But you see the title, right? White Lives Matter. Kanye West and Candace Owens, right? They actually went to, and let me share my screen with you, family, because some people may be out of the loop, because I know some of you don't keep in touch, keep up with all of the stuff happening in the world. But I was online because I've been battling the cold, and so I have nothing to do but to be online scrolling. All right, and let me daggone, I didn't even change my background. I got the Read Book Club up here. Let me change my background real quick. There we go. All right. So anyway, I was scrolling through my feed and I saw, there it is. That's what I wanted to show you. I saw that Kanye and Candace Owens, apparently they went to Paris Fashion Week and they wore shirts that said White Lives Matter, right? White Lives Matter. And so when, of course, Black Twitter went crazy, right? People going at Kanye West, of course, Black Twitter going crazy. They're going at Kanye West. They're going at Candace Owens. And, and Kanye West flat out said, that Black Lives Matter, that whole thing was a fraud. That was like his response to the controversy surrounding his White Lives Matter sweatshirt. I'm sorry, I said t-shirt, but sweatshirt that he and Candace Owens wore to Paris Fashion Week. And so I just wanted to really, really unpack that. Like when I thought about that, I said, wow, I don't think that Kanye West and Candace, well, you know what? I don't even want to say that they don't know what they're doing. At this point, to me, it's clear that both of them are collaborators, that both of them do not care about, Black people, period. They don't care. They don't care about Black people. They're clearly collaborators. I remember when Kanye West first came out, one thing that I loved about him is I felt like he was unapologetically Black. You know what I mean? And he spoke up for Black people. Like, I don't know if you all remember when Hurricane Katrina happened and they were doing like this telethon and they were trying to raise money for Hurricane Katrina. And Kanye West got up there and said, George Bush doesn't care anything about, Black people. He just used to do, just say anything out of his mouth, and I was like, yeah, finally, I felt like he was using his celebrity, right? His voice to, he was using his voice for the benefit of us. That's how I felt. Like he was out there, he was unapologetically Black, and he was speaking, I felt like it was like one of us talking. But, Kanye, man, he has since then, I don't know if it was him getting with Kim and, getting the Kardashian curse. Cause, it seems like anytime the brothers get with them, something happens. I don't know what it is with those Kardashians, but when the brothers go over there and they get with Kim, Lord have mercy. Something is like something happens to them. But, he's just gone. He said slavery was a choice. I don't know if you all remember all of the stuff that he said. Slavery was a choice. He totally disrespected our beloved ancestor, Harriet Tubman. He said she didn't do anything. All she did was carry Black people from the South to be under the subjugation and domination of white people, in the North. So he just all she did was carry, Black people from one group of white folks, in the South to another group. Like, totally minimized what Harriet Tubman did, and what she did. Back then, look, we going through chattel slavery, right? And you keep hearing, and shout out to Baba Amin, who's in the building. You keep hearing, you just keep hearing. Peace to you, Baba Amin. How you doing, warrior?
I'm good. Peace, Doc. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Just kind of recounting some of the things, some of Kanye West's his antics, and some of the things he just said out of his mouth. I was just about Harriet Tubman. Like he went in on Harriet, it made it seem like she just didn't do anything. All she did was, carry Black folks from, one location to another location where they were subjugated and dominated by white folks in the North. And what I was articulating to my audience before you had joined the broadcast is that back then our ancestors were trying to get free by any means necessary. So look, Baba, you hearing it's better in the North. So it's like, all right, well, let me take my people north if it's better over there.
Right.
They had no idea what was going on, in the North. All they just heard was that, hey, it's better over here. And so what she did was say, all right, well, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna make it north, then I'm gonna go back south, I'm gonna get my family, I'm gonna get my brothers and sisters, and I'm gonna bring them north. And so she didn't know, she didn't understand what was happening, in the North at that particular time. Go ahead, Bob.
Well, it's again, it sounds like it's a case of trying to look at something that happened in the 1800s through a 2022 lens.
Absolutely.
Right. And it's similar to what with the recent thing with DJ Academics talking about the old school hip hop, the originators of hip hop, and how some of the old school guys are jealous of the young guys because the young guys are smarter and about their business and making more money. You know what I'm saying? As if they were artists back then, they would have got a better deal than LL. They would have got a better deal. You know what I'm saying? But
they wouldn't have.
Yeah, the music business was a different animal back then. Right.
Facts.
Right. You could shoot a music video with your iPhone now. Back then, a good music video cost $1 million.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And so when Kanye is saying, and others who say things like, well, Harriet Tubman didn't do much. He took them from one form of slavery to another form of slavery. You know what I'm saying? Now he's looking at it through a modern day lens. He's looking at it through hindsight. Like, yeah, the Northerners wasn't much better than the Southerners, right? But at that time, really, most of our ancestors saw all of them as the same. It was about who can I finesse to get something out of first.
That's right.
Where can I go to get some wiggle room? Where can I go to get some space to myself, some space of my own? And so that just so happened to be in certain areas in the North.
Absolutely, Baba. And so I was just kind of recounting some of the things that he said, and now his newest stunt.
Yeah,
his newest stunt.
The T-shirt, the White Lives Matter.
Yeah, Baba, look at this. So it says Yeezy's White Lives Matter sweatshirt draws eerie after Yeezy show at Paris Fashion Week. And so him and Candace Owens, right? And I called them collaborators when you weren't on. I said they are clearly collaborators at this point. I don't know anyone who would argue differently, but you know, he's there and he's promoting White Lives Matter, right? And in my mind, I'm thinking there hasn't been a time in U.S. history where white lives didn't matter, where the public had to be reminded of white lives mattering. In American history, white lives have always mattered, right? As soon as you became white, as soon as you became white, because we already know that when the Eastern immigrants, European immigrants, when they came over here, they were treated, they weren't treated like they were white. But when they became white, what happened, Baba? They got a economic stimulus package, right? They were able to move into the suburbs, and they had access to wealth and opportunities, to build wealth once they became white. So whiteness, right? And U.S. history has always mattered. It always had psychological and material value, in U.S. history. And so Black Lives Matter, it was a call saying, hey, Black Lives Matter. Not that we were saying back then that no one else's life mattered, but we had to let them know, wait a minute, Black lives are valuable, right? Because and that was in response to the police brutality and the police killings and all of that stuff that was going on. So that's why people say, wait a minute, Black lives matter. Black lives are valuable. So my question, Bob, let's think about this. What is the purpose behind him pushing that white lives matter, given that white lives have always mattered in America? So what is the purpose? What is the intent, Bob? Is this to fuel a race war? Because all he's doing is heightening. All he's doing is encouraging, in my opinion, the white extremists, because they're going off, white lives matter. And then I know it's going to be some white people who are going to go buy the t-shirt, so what is it? It's creating that friction that already exists between those of us who are Black and those of us who are white. And so what do you think, Bob, is the purpose behind this?
Well, my first thought, in just seeing it today and not having a whole lot of time to process it, my first thought is always capitalism. My first thought is that we're making money. It's to make money. It's to gain somebody's attention and to make some money. Absolutely. To leverage that into some kind of deal, to leverage that into some sort of relationship, right? So catering to the European masses, catering to white people, for the purpose of maintaining wealth, building more wealth. So I'm thinking capitalism. I mean, recently he lost his deal with the Gap and Nike, other things, right? Nike, Adidas, I think, and others. And so I'm thinking leverage. I'm thinking shock value. Kanye West is the king of shock value. Look at how his career took off and his name took off when he said Bush don't care about white people, right?
Black people.
So Black people. I mean, Bush don't care about Black people, right? So he knows how to agitate. The Harriet Tubman thing, the slavery was a choice, right? So he knows how to advocate. He knows how to agitate. He knows how to trigger, and he knows how to turn that into a profit. And so maybe that's what he's banking on. They want to be in the room. It looks like they want to be in a room with somebody.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and so they're going to the extreme in order to do that.
Yeah, and then but Bob, but at whose expense? It's like you don't care, because what is this going to do? This is already going to excite them. White supremacists, they duds anyway. So it's going to excite the extremists, and then next, the white boys, they're going to be wearing the t-shirts. You understand what I'm saying, Bob?
Right.
I see a lot happening with this. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I'm like, so
yeah.
they want to get in the room and make money, but at whose expense, Bob?
At
And
whose
that's why I said,
expense?
yeah, and that's why I said there is no doubt in my mind that they are straight up collaborators. You know what I mean?
Right,
And
right,
yeah,
right.
it's not a doubt in my
Well,
mind.
well, well. If white people get bold enough to start wearing White Lives Matter T-shirts, right, I would encourage Black people, number one, not to be triggered by it. Now somebody disrespects you, do what you got to do, right? But if they wear it, they'll be like, okay, now I know who you are. Now I know what you are. Now I know, because I'd rather deal with the devil I know than the devil I can't recognize.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Come
and so
on.
perhaps white people walking around with White Lives Matter T-shirts will prompt us to circle our wagons even more. Because sometimes every time something bad happens, Black people get blacker. Right. And then we real black for about 10 days. Then the news cycle moves on, and then we go back to being neutral again.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, the race war is already happening. So I'm not worried about that part, because when your children are sent, you send your children to a school and they're teaching them that they don't matter, that they haven't contributed anything in human history, that's already an act of war. When you're trapped in generational poverty, that's already an act of war. How much war do you need before you call it an act of war? So Black people have been at war with the United States, or the United States has been at war with Black people since we've been here.
Absolutely.
It just takes a different shape. So when the messages get blunt, when white people get blunt with these messages, all it does for us is give us a signpost to know, I know who you are. I know what you represent. I'm on guard. And then we get a little bolder and say, okay, but then let's do our thing. Because when Black Lives Matter came out, the sarcastic side of me said, we need to hear that.
Right.
We need to hear that. We need to hear that Black businesses matter. We need to hear that Black families matter. We need to hear that Black education matters.
That's right.
We need to hear that. Right? So hey, I don't like what Candace Owens, she always props herself up to be a puppet, right?
Oh,
Kanye,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's her whole hustle. Right. And so Kanye wants to do the same thing, man. He is the prime example of a brother who knows, right, but can't find balance because he's moving in multiple worlds. So we miss Donda. That's all I'm gonna say. We really miss Donda.
Right. And shout out to Ron Doe. He said this is a perfect example to show how Black celebrities don't support the poor Black communities first. He said, F Kanye. He said, doesn't even help with the youth in Chicago, but can wear a White Lives Matter sweatsuit. Right. Facts.
Right. And that accountability goes across the board, because you got Black celebrities that would never wear a White Lives Matter t-shirt, but they don't help the Black community either. You have Black celebrities that like Tyler Perry talks Black. He hires a lot of Black people, right? But his message is still not one of Black empowerment.
No.
Not in his business actions, and not to take away from
what he's
Kanye
done
is doing. Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's start bringing that accountability across the board. Let's look in the mirror as well, you know what I'm saying, and bring out accountability across the board. And when this type of coonish behavior, you know what I'm saying, comes out, we just look at that and say, okay, well, you're not invited. You don't want to come to the barbecue. It's all good.
Right.
Let's keep the party going.
Okay, absolutely. And Bob, like you said, that accountability, when stuff like this happens, Kanye West at this point, Candace Owens at this point should get no support from the Black community. None, zilch. And we hold them accountable by not streaming their material, right? By not buying, streaming the music, or buying the clothes or the shoes or whatever they put out there. You get what I'm saying, Baba? Right. I mean, if white folks support them, that's on them, but they should receive zero support from our community when they do stuff like this. You get what I'm saying, Baba?
Right.
But what our people do, and it sickens me, is that these people spit in our face, and we will still buy the records, we'll still go to the concerts, we'll make up a whole bunch of excuses, right, to continue to support the very same people who do not support us, the very same people who disrespect us, the very same people who do nothing for us, Baba. And that says something about us. So that, like you said earlier, you said we need to look in the mirror.
Right. When you can't recognize an abuser, that's because you can't recognize yourself. You have to devalue yourself before you allow yourself to be devalued by others.
Absolutely.
Right. And so we haven't been laced with the intestinal fortitude, right, to hold a hard line against those that disrespect us, and we're caught in this conundrum where you want to celebrate Black success. You just happy to see somebody Black make it, but dang, to see them make it and expect them to advocate for us too. It's almost like we feel guilty for expecting that much. So you look at a BET Awards or whatever, and you see you see the song is super negative, the message is horrible, but then you clap for the baby because at least the baby out the ghetto, the baby's out of poverty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to see the young person make it. I'm happy to see that, right? But then I got to turn around tomorrow and convince the young brother that the young sister that's not a celebrity, don't act like that music. Don't act like the person in that song. You're making decisions that's going to destroy your life. So it's like those of us on the ground are dealing with the residuals of the message. It makes it hard for us to celebrate those who get rewarded for it, for putting those messages out there. So when Kanye does something like this, you have people on the ground who have to deal with the residuals of that. Like you say, what's the fallout for it? And it makes it hard for you to celebrate the positives or the gains that they may be making for themselves or for others, right? So yeah, man, it's crazy. I want to celebrate Kanye because of what he's done with his wealth. But I can't celebrate Kanye because of, he insists that I don't celebrate him. It's like he insists. Like I insist,
right.
Like I insist that you don't celebrate that I have over 1,200 acres of prime real estate, that I've set a business blueprint for Black creatives. You know what I'm saying? That Black creatives can definitely grab some elements from. You know what I'm saying? And then I go and do this, and that's why I try not to deal too much in absolutes, Doc, because you can still look at a collaborator or another person and don't let what they triggered you, how they triggered you to feel, blind you from what you can learn by watching them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So still study his enemies, study your allies, pull what you can take from them, what you can learn from them, throw the rest of it in the trash.
Absolutely. So, Baba, let's move on. Let's move on to the Woman King, man. So there was this controversy, Baba, like with the Woman King, and people were like, we're going to boycott it. And, I heard so much. I actually went to go see it maybe like a week or two ago. I know you saw it like a week or two ago. And, then we heard, just so much, controversy surrounding the Woman King. I was on the phone building with my brother Jabari. He was in the barbershop arguing with dudes in the barbershop. So I'm calling him. He's yelling. And that's what I'm going to call you back, Dr. Ma'at. He's yelling in the background at the guys in the barbershop because they're like, man, that movie, it had so many different agendas. People said that it was promoting feminism. They saw a lot of masculine women. They said it had a lesbian undertones, and it wasn't historically accurate. And Baba, I heard all of these things, but I'm gonna be real with you. I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the movie. I mean, I enjoyed looking at, Ifa, I saw African culture on display, the dancing, the spirituality, them pouring libation, them making the blood sacrifice to Ogun. Like I sat back and I was like, wow, like they did a very good job depicting African culture. Now, was it historically accurate completely? No, it wasn't. Right. Thank you, Bob. It wasn't even meant to be, but it wasn't. And so people kill me with these expectations of Hollywood to make movies that accurately tell our story. That's our responsibility. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so,
I know.
Baba, I really appreciate it. Like on Facebook, you were like, look, let's start a Black Revolutionary Film Club where
Right.
we do that, and we look at the movies that we sanction, the movies that we like, we promote those, and then we start, you know, creating our own movies. So we'll sit here and wait for someone to tell the story, and then when they tell the story, now you mad. I'm boycotting because the story wasn't told the way I wanted the story to be told.
Right.
Well, then hell, you should have wrote the story or produced a film of your own.
Wait a minute, but you didn't. You're already boycotting Black independent filmmakers that are trying to make revolutionary films. Because I you know, so in the anti-Black owned business boycott first. Let's stop boycotting each other first.
Come on.
Okay. Can we end that boycott? Like, congratulations. I don't have no sympathy for Sony. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If people don't want to put money in Sony's pockets, I have no problem with that. You're under no obligation to make Sony rich. If you can stream that thing on a Fire Stick, stream that thing on a Fire Stick. I ain't doing no tripping on that end. Sony was at the epicenter of World War III, which is the World War of Africa from 1998 to the early 2000s in the Congo, where millions of people died over coltan mines, you know what I'm saying, and supplies that companies like Sony were capitalizing off of. How ironic that Sony would finance a picture about a Congolese nation, right? And so there are a lot of ironies there. I don't have any issue about that. But if we're just going to talk about the film itself,
Right. The film itself.
The film itself, it was a great film.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed how my daughters felt watching the movie. I enjoyed how my wife felt. I enjoyed the conversations between mother and daughter in that movie. I enjoyed seeing a female rites of passage in that movie as a person who works with youth, right? That female rites of passage, Dr. Mahat, that's the holy grail in working with youth in the Black community, because that's one of the hardest things to maintain is the female rites of passage. You know what I'm saying? And so it was refreshing to see that as well. So the film on face value is fine. If you want to get into the business behind the film, that's another conversation altogether. As far as historical accuracy, it's a historical fiction. And
Thank you. That's all it is.
Yeah,
say that again, Bob. It's
historical fiction. It's a fictitious story based with historical characters in it. So there's some history in it, but it's not history in it. The history ain't meant for the plot. The history is the setting. It's not the plot.
Absolutely. And Baba, and a lot of people were saying things like, oh, you know, the warrior men. I did not get that vibe, Baba.
Nah.
When I watched the film, well, first of all, I heard Brother Tariq Nasheed say it was some lesbian undertones. And I was like, Brother Tariq, I'm going to text him too later and tell him he was out of pocket telling people with some lesbian. No, I didn't get that vibe at all. I'm talking about Baba, like from start to finish. I saw a group of women. I just saw strong sisterhood. I got your back. I'm gonna die for you. You know, I'm gonna go to war with you. And we live together. We building together. We strategizing together. We exercising. We're training together. I just saw strong sisterhood bonds. That's what I saw. And as far as this whole, they kept calling us the warrior women, manly men. These were manly men. They were men. Baba, that's very problematic for me. And let me tell you why. We have this idea, right? And I could talk about the males too, but I'm talking about specifically females since we're focusing on the Woman King. We have this idea that all females are hair and makeup women and love heels and love dresses and love to wear pink, right?
Yes.
That's Baba. That's not all women.
No.
And as soon as a woman steps outside of that, she's a tomboy. She's masculine. She's this. No, I just may not be into wearing that. I may want to wear it when I feel like wearing it. I may not want to wear it every day. I may not want to you get what I'm saying? But Baba, that's okay. And just like with young males, you have some women who say, girl, he feminine, girl, he gay, because he not walking around like this. Every guy may not be a football guy. Every guy may not be into football and sports and you get what I'm saying, Bob? And want to lift weights. But that doesn't mean that he's feminine or he's gay. because he doesn't fall within that. And so we got to be very careful, Baba, with that whole manly man or, you know, that womanly one. We got to be careful with that because everybody doesn't fall into that box.
Right.
And as soon as you get out of that box, they want somebody want to put you in another box. You know,
we live in a society where the roles are blurred. You know, the roles are not clearly defined in the culture that we live in. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes the culture that comes naturally from us as Black people does not coincide with the dominant culture. So we end up in constant conflict over what a man is, what a woman is. I see a lot of brothers talk about manly this, manly that, but they not man enough to raise a family. You know, I see a lot of brothers got big old muscles, but run at the first sign of responsibility.
Come on.
You know, I see women with hair, makeup, and heels on. You know what I'm saying? That ain't feminine. That they ain't feminine in here. They ain't complimenting nobody. You know,
not
what
facts, Baba.
You
but she got the hair though. But she got the hair.
She got the look. But a slap you in the middle, bump you in your head with 5 knuckles in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying?
Baba. Come on.
And so the lines have been blurred. And what we do, we tend to cry over things that we're not defining or defending. You know, when it look, see, that's lesbian undertones. But how much work are you doing to define what womanhood is in the culture?
Come on.
Are we investing in our young girls? Are we investing in institutions that help develop young women into the women that we need in our community? And the same with young Black males, right? And then we, again, like we say, we cry over this story. But where are the stories? I know a brother that's doing a brilliant short film, 30-minute film on Marcus Mosiah Garvey. He's been trying to raise $5,000 for damn near 3 years. And it's a brilliant project. But it's hard to get people to listen. They'll nod, but they won't throw the ducats behind it. There are people out here that are telling our story.
Oh, hold on, Baba. Let me hold on. Let me give you. Hold on. Let me.
Look at this. There it is.
I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. People who are telling our story.
Right.
So we have Meltrek exploring ancient Africa.
Right here. Come on.
Exploring ancient Africa, where we're teaching children about the history of African people prior to the Ma'afa, prior to the era of enslavement and colonization. Right. Then we have Meltrek episode 2, exploring the pre-Columbian Americas, you know, and I look back on some of these films. I'm like, oh, we made a mistake here, made a mistake there. You know, I clean that up. Look, I cleaned that up in the 10-year anniversary. But the point is the films are out there. And what we do, like you say, is we complain about, you know, the films that Hollywood puts out there, but then we don't support Black independent filmmakers. I'm going to drop the link so you all can grab this, put this in your catalog.
Meltrek should be in every household. Meltrek should be a part of everyone's library collection. You know, you have to support that. If Sony can tell your story and you can go buy a ticket from multiple movie tickets from Sony to see it one time for the same price, really less, because the movies are so expensive. For less, you could get Meltrek for a lifetime.
Yep, a lifetime, Bob.
Right. And then with the story with the strong women, ancient Africa has a legacy of warrior queens. A legacy. You ain't got to start with the Dahomey. Go all the way back to Merowe.
Come on, Baba.
Go back to Merowe and the Kandakes, like Amenorhanes, who went into battle and defeated Augustus Caesar. Make that movie.
Come on, Baba.
Go back to Hatshepsut, who was both queen and king at the same time. The 18th dynasty, ancient Kemet. Write that story, right? We need more love stories. We need more adventures. We need more historical fictions. Somebody can do a Harriet Tubman where she just got superpowers. You ain't always got to be real.
Right?
You don't. These Chinese folks, these Asians be making kung fu flicks about their revolutionary heroes. They be flying through trees doing karate kicks and you know what I'm saying?
No, but that's real.
Yeah, the 36 chambers. 36 chambers of Shaolin, you know, their ancestors wasn't really doing that. You know what I'm saying? They create movies and historical fiction and give their ancestors supernatural powers so they can invoke the pride and power inside of them. What ain't nothing wrong with that?
Nothing
we need to tell those stories for real. Don't let me do a Harriet Tubman story. Don't let me do one. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be a science fiction. It's gonna be a sci-fi. Y'all, man, please, right?
And why is strong interpreted, Baba, as like manly? You know, you can be a strong woman
European
and
culture.
not be. Yeah, what you say, Baba?
European culture.
Yeah, like to say
Yeah.
like, oh, she's strong woman, she's manly. Like what? What do you?
Yeah.
Because you may be strong and dominant or assertive.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, that's, you know, and like you said, Baba, that is European culture, because in European culture, remember, the women had to be, you know, submissive and they had to be a certain type of way. But like you said, in Africa, and I'm sitting here thinking about the quote that Dr. John Henry Clark. Hold up. I don't want to butcher it, Bob. I want to pull it up. I don't want to butcher it. I got to pull up this quote by Dr. John Henry Clark. I say it often and I can't find it. Oh, where is it? Oh, here it is. Found it. I don't want to butcher it. Well, this is one of my favorite quotes by Dr. John Henry Clark. And he says this. Okay, let me.
Yeah, love it.
Yes. So he said, in Africa, the woman's place was not only with her family, she often ruled nations with unquestionable authority. Many African women were great militarists and on occasion led their armies in battle. The Africans had produced a civilization where men were secure enough to let women advance as far as their talent, royal lineage, and prerogatives would take them. So, like you said, Baba, Africa was full of strong women. And it was okay with the men. They weren't saying that's manly. They were fine with it. They like, do your thing, girl. You know, like, do your thing. We're here. We support you. We love you. We care about you. Do your thing.
Yes.
Do your thing.
Right.
You know, but like you said, we've been so Europeanized, Baba. It's like, it's, you know, people are intimidated. I see some brothers, oh, she too strong for me. I want a woman, you know, okay, brother. So I see what type of time you on. I didn't see any manly women in the Woman King. Not one, Baba.
No.
I didn't see any of those sisters. None of those sisters came off manly to me, you know, in my opinion, you know, maybe to somebody else, but not in my opinion.
No, especially not enough to say there was a lesbian overtone. There was no lesbian moments. They minimized a lot of the Hollywood tropes. Instead of a good white man, we got a good mulatto. I said, okay, that's a good compromise. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you usually have the white hero in the movie. We had a mulatto hero, but you know, you know, so a good mulatto. Instead of the openly gay thing, you had a eunuch. But they didn't reference his sexuality, anything like that. It was just obvious what he was.
Yeah, what he was.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. But you had some, you know, but it wasn't a story about men. It was a story about women. And you know, we can write a story, brothers. We can have one that's about us. I would go see the Brother King. I would go see that movie about the Black Brotherhood. We need a Sparta. You remember that movie Sparta with the when they lied on how cold the Spartans were, right? And all them white boys together and fighting butt naked with their shields. We need a Sparta. There were African troops like that. We need a movie about the Nubian archers. Why not? You know, you know, why not? There are many brotherhood stories that we could write. You know, what about the brotherhood that came together and invented architecture? What about the brotherhood? You know what I'm saying? The sisterhood that came together and created farming and agri-science and agriculture. Write your story, black man, black woman. When I came from the movie, I said, because people like, man, it's a shame white women wrote this screenplay. And I said, then we need to write more screenplays. I want
Come
more.
on. That's right.
I want more. And when I see my people come out, my conversation is always this. You want to know more about our story? There are more stories. You like the Woman King? I'm going to tell you something. If you like the Woman King, you really need to learn about Queen Nzinga. You really need to learn about Queen Nanny and the Maroons. I got an African history class on Sundays. If you want to come through, follow through. And you know what I'm saying? But those of us who know, we need to take these opportunities to build.
That's right.
Because the only people you end up ostracizing yourself from are your own people. Sony already don't like you, so you can boycott Sony. Sony don't know you, but when you make Shay feel like she dumb for going to see the Woman King, now you can't communicate with Shay. You're hurting your ability to unify with Shay, with Keisha, with Johnny. You see, that's who you end up ostracizing yourself from.
Absolutely. And I like what Trobe said. He said it was a movie, not a documentary.
Come on.
It was a movie. Like you said, it wasn't historically accurate.
No, it
you
wasn't.
Know, not at
Accurate.
all. Not at all.
That's what. So what are we gonna build on top of it? What's the next move? Make your next move your best move. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Perry heard them put a movie out.
You said Tyler Perry what? Oh, right. Oh,
yeah.
He heard what's it called? Jasmine Blues. It's called
the Jasmine Blues.
Jasmine Blues.
Man, that was the most unbluesy blues man I ever seen in my life. Yes. That was a movie about black people for white people. That's exactly what that movie was. You know what I'm saying? But he capitalized on the wave. You know, everybody, y'all feeling black? Let me drop something on Netflix for you right quick.
And that's what happened. Like you said, it came out right after the one came
right after.
And Baba, let me touch on something really quickly. I remember there was Brother Jabari said that some of the brothers in the barbershop said that when you say woman king, they felt like that was an oxymoron, right?
Right.
And to me, what those brothers don't understand is first of all linguistics, and then secondly African culture, because we have to understand in Europe they had the whole king and queen, and that's European, right? Mm-hmm. And Africa, and I'm thinking about right now Kemet, the ruler was called Nusut Biti, kings of king. Mm-hmm. And so it was a title, it was an office. And so anyone, even though the office may have been dominated by males, mm-hmm. women could also, it was kind of like president. You know how right now in the United States, there hasn't been a female president, but president it's an office, it's a title. And so it wasn't necessarily, in Africa, we have to understand that Nusut Biti could have been a kings of kings, could have been a woman, right? And shout out to another king. I'm sitting here thinking about her right now. She wrote a book. Have you heard of King Peggy, Baba?
Yes, I have heard of King
Peggy. So King Peggy. Let's go right here. I'm gonna pull this up. I want the family to see this. Right? I read this book a few years back. This was a woman who was crowned king in Ghana. Mm-hmm. Right here. Look at this, family. I have a book. I read it. It's a phenomenal book as to how this woman became king. She was crowned king. Her uncle passed on, and that particular ethnicity, it was a lineage. I know it was I think it was a maternal sort of lineage. But anyway, I know that she became king. Her uncle passed, and it went to her. I forgot how and why and what, but she was actually crowned king. And she said that Will Smith bought the rights to her story because he wanted to produce a story about her. But I guess the white folks with the woman king beat them to it. But it's King Peggy. Right. So people say, oh, it's a woman. How you crowning her king? Because you don't understand African culture. Right. You don't get it. Right. And so I wanted to address that, Baba. Go ahead.
Yeah. And people also need to understand that the homie nation, that we call that, they were named that by people from outside of the homie. You know what I'm saying? It didn't last. It didn't pop up and last for like 2 weeks, right? So it wasn't politically always the same. So if there was a period where they participated in the slave trade, there was a period where they did not participate in the slave trade. Absolutely. There was a period where the role of the women warriors were one thing. Then there was a period where the role of the women warriors were another. Go study for yourself. Go study for yourself. Go find out. But if your historical references that you saw a video on YouTube that said they sold our people into slavery, and you just stopped right there, and you didn't go study the nuance, the same nuances that allow you to forgive white people even though they sold you into slavery.
Right.
The same nuances that allow you to say, well, I'm still an American citizen, even though your ancestors were enslaved in this country for over 300 years, then you give this country the benefit of the doubt. Well, then go study the nuances and what African nations who may or may not have participated in the slave trade, what were they going through? What was their view? Study those nuances as well. Right. Sometimes, of course, there's this agenda out there where we need to circle the wagon as foundational Black Americans.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm saying? And so this was a good trigger piece for those who are pushing that agenda to say, see what they see. Those Africans sold our people into slavery. Yeah, that's why I don't like tethers. That's why I don't like Africans. But now you're discouraging people from studying and learning the nuances Keep your stance, right? But don't run away from details because you're insecure about your stance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Rondo, brother, I hope that I answered your address your comment, brother. I hope that was before I broke down, African culture and history and linguistics, brother. You see clearly right
Rondo.
here. Yeah, Rondo. And I like Rondo. That's my guy. I like Rondo.
Yeah.
I like his perspective. That's my guy right there. But you see clearly on the screen, we have King Peggy. Another person who was crowned king in Ghana was Dr. Patricia Newton. Before she transitioned, and so, yeah, man, you all come on, man. We gotta, like you said, Baba, when we get exposed to certain things, we gotta do our due diligence.
We have to do our due diligence.
Yeah, we can't just stop right there, and take things. We gotta dig a little deeper. You know what I mean? We gotta dig a little deeper.
Right. And I understand we're working from miseducated assumptions anyway. So you're already triggered from miseducated assumptions that you make about African culture, that we make about self. We already have a sense of shame, right, about being African, about being of African descent, by being melanated people, And so a lot of us are coming from those assumptions. So the first piece of negativity that you bring out, it'll trigger that. It'll trigger those assumptions, and then we shut off. But I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. It's my habit to open up conversations. It's my craft to ask hard questions. You know what I'm saying? And so this was an opportunity to ask some hard questions and to have some conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Sister Tiffany, in the chat holding it down.
Oh, she in the chat holding it down.
She's holding it down and sharing the links and everything.
Excellent. And I'm up here just going through, just checking out some more of the comments. So, Baba, I wanted to move into this, the Little Mermaid. Let's go there, Baba.
Right.
Everybody upset. Look at this. Disney's Little Mermaid backlash has reached insane heights. So white folks are mad, Baba. They're like, the Little Mermaid, why are you making her black? And Disney's like, they're trying this whole diversity and inclusion and all of this stuff. And let me say something. It's 2 points that I want to make, Bob, and I'll pass it. My first point is this. The Little Mermaid is fiction. And with fiction, you can do whatever you want to do. They can make the Little Mermaid black, white, brown, blue, purple, red, green. This is a fictional character, right? And so with fiction, you can do whatever you want, right? Because it's up to the imagination of the artist. And so you can do whatever you want. So they're upset because they turned the color or changed the color of a fictional character, which I think is ridiculous. Because again, like I said, it's not like it's a real person. It's not like, Ariel. I think that's the name, right? Is it Ariel?
Yeah, Ariel.
Ariel. Yeah, that's close. So look, I'm like, it's not like she was it's a real person. That's a European woman. That's a real person. And someone said, well, no, we're going to get a black person to portray this real person. Yeah, I would take issue with that. But to say that I'm going to take a fictional character who was white back, I think that movie dropped like in the 80s or early 90s, something like that. Yeah. But to say that I'm gonna take that and we're gonna redo it 30 years later, and now we're gonna make her black, I don't see the point. Like, I don't see the point of the uproar, because like I said, this is a fictional character, right? This is fiction. That's my first point. My second point is this though, Baba, too. I'm really not even into them taking old characters from the 80s or early 90s and like making them black, right? I think like moving forward, just create other animations with black characters. I don't think we have to actually go back to the 80s and 90s and take those characters and make everybody black, for diversity purposes. I mean, I know these are like classic films, like The Little Mermaid, and these are classic films. And so that's like taking like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and he was the white bunny or something, right? He was a white rabbit. And said, we're gonna make him a black rabbit. I don't think that that's necessary. I think that you just moving forward, create an animated film with a black character where it's something like that. I don't think it's necessary to revisit the 80s and 90s. I feel like what's done is done.
And again, shout out to all the black creatives out there that are creating fictional characters, creating powerful and beautiful stories, and can't get in the door because as soon as the white juggernaut puts a white face on one of his characters, we stop fighting. As soon as the white juggernauts put a black face on a traditionally white character and calls it progress, we forget about, again, there are black creators out here that are creating characters that end up having to take jobs with Marvel and DC and Disney, you know what I'm saying? Because they can't get in the door with their own creations. So I got to shout out to them first, number one. Number two, making the Little Mermaid black, right, is just a grab for black dollars. And I wouldn't be surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised if the backlash hasn't been hyped up and even created by Disney to spark black people to feel revolutionary for going to see it. I'm not saying there's not a backlash, but I guarantee you Disney is not mad that the media is promoting the backlash. Please promote the backlash because that's promoting the movie.
Right, facts.
Right? And now it's going to make black people actually feel like they're making a stance when they go see the Black Little Mermaid. And it'll make white people who may have said, no, I'm not going to do it, say, well, I guess I have to see it so I won't look like a racist.
Right.
I'm not a part of the backlash. So the backlash is going to make some money. You know what I'm saying? They waiting on the back cash. That's what Disney is waiting on. They waiting on the back cash. We worried about the backlash. They about to get some back cash. Out little black girls, they just dreaming about little black girls wanting Little Mermaid birthday parties, Little Mermaid costumes. Oh, they dreaming about the back cash. That's what's going down right now. You know what I'm saying? So the hell with a backlash. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta look at that. But then I did a little digging because we did a whole lesson on this at the Uhuru Academy, talking about the Black Little Mermaid. And so when we talked about on the surface, all the girls say, yeah, that's going to be cool to see Ariel black. So then we dug a little deep. I say, did they change the king too? Is the king going to be black? Because remember, the king Ariel's father played a prominent role in the original one. So I went and looked and I said, oh, Ariel's mixed in the movie. No black king. I told him, I said, I dare y'all to find a black king in any Disney movie. I dare y'all to find a black male king in any Disney animated movie. They couldn't think of one, right? And so Ariel's daddy he's off-white. The mama's black, right? And then what the prince looked like? Because, at the end of the first one, Ariel gave up her voice to get legs. That's what happened in the first one because she wanted to be with the prince so bad. But if a mermaid gave up their fins to get legs, they had to give up their voice and couldn't speak. So I said, well, what is the prince going to look like? Well, the prince is still white. So you're going to have a movie with a black mermaid who gives up her voice to get legs to be with a white man at the end of the movie. But hey, I'm just, don't get mad about me.
I didn't think about that.
They might change the plot. I don't know, but I know I ain't taking my babies to see it.
Baba, I did not think about that. You're right. If she's a black and they keep the prince still white, yep, there we go. Yeah. There we go. There we go.
So you just painted one character black, but her daddy can't be black and the prince can't be black. Why?
Wow. Bob, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, go look at the cast and crew. Now, I don't know how they're going to paint the characters, but I saw the voiceover people, they white. So now look at it at a broader picture. They're saying, laser, focus in on Ariel. She's black, but the movie's not black. The cartoon is not an African story.
No, it's not.
It's not a story about us for us. It's just painting the picture black. Right. But then we also had a discussion. I let our children know. I said, you have license to write a mermaid story because the oldest stories known to humankind of aquatic humans are African stories.
That's right.
The Nomo people in the Dogon creation story, for example. They are half amphibian, half human creatures that were created by the creator at the same time as humans, but humans were imperfect. They were perfect. They went to another planet, ended up coming back, took residence in the oceans. That's some of your first mermaid stories right there.
Facts.
right? And so it's important that our young people know that you have license with these stories too. And you don't need somebody to paint a mermaid in one story black. You create your own mermaid story.
And Baba, that's what I was thinking. I said, we don't need that. They don't need to go back and paint, like you said, these characters from the 80s. And then that's like going back. They might as well, make a movie. Didn't they do a George Jetson movie? Didn't they turn the Jetsons into a movie? Now we're gonna go back.
Yeah.
Elroy is gonna be black. Like, I mean, like, come on. Like,
Right,
we don't need to
right,
do that.
right. And thank you, Johnny Johnson. Everyone is getting paid except us.
Right. Facts.
Right. Shout out to
Facts.
Chloe Bailey, or one of the Bailey sisters that's getting paid to do the job, but that's only one person.
Right.
This is not a black enterprise. Right.
Right.
And so as a matter of fact, it helps to keep black enterprises out, because as long as the powers that be offer us sprinkles of blackness, we won't turn our attention towards the black companies that are trying to get their foot in the door.
That's a fact. That's
a fact. The Black Panther, as much as I love the Black Panther with Marvel, the Black Panther was used as leverage by Marvel Comics to keep black-owned comic makers out of the business. Period. DC did the same thing until they ended up buying Milestone Comics in the 90s. So there's a real battle in the industry, in the creative industry going on. Black creators doing wonderful things, y'all. Go find them. It's an excellent website called the fifthhousecollective.com. Shout out to Sister D. They sponsor our writing club at the Uhuru Academy. And it's a collective of black creatives that do comic books, mangas, anime, but all black, all conscious, all geared towards our story. They're out here and they're investing their own dollars to create a fantastic product, but it's hard for them to be seen because for some reason the algorithm just won't catch them.
Right.
And so when I see things like the Disney Little Mermaid Black, I'm not like, yay, Disney. No, Disney is one of the most racist companies to ever grace the planet Earth. Okay.
Period.
Lion King's supposed to have people in it. Okay. Only reason why Lion King got animals in it is because it's supposed to be out. It's in Africa. Everything they do in Africa got animals. Madagascar, animals.
Facts. No, that's facts, Bob. But that's facts.
I'm just saying, man. So I'm not happy about that. I'm not clapping and jumping up and down. Matter of fact, if we're gonna boycott boycott Ariel. Not boycott the sister that's doing it, but boycott Disney. If you want to boycott something, don't support that film. Don't support the message in the film. Make your own. Support someone. I know it's a powerful sister creative out here that has an idea for a love story.
Right.
Let's support her story. Let's support that. Get out here and do your due diligence, black folk. Whatever you look for on YouTube, you can find it. Whatever you look for on Google, you can find it, and it'll change your whole algorithm. Once you start looking for black independent products will start popping up without you looking for them. The only reason why you don't see them is that you ain't searching them.
You ain't searching for them.
You ain't searching for them.
They ain't searching for them.
You ain't searching for them. Search for black independent stories.
Too busy keeping up with the Kardashians. And speaking of which, Candace Owens, and I never thought I'd be able to say that I support this message. I never thought, Baba, I would say that I actually agree with something that she said. And so, the dude Ray J, all right, then dropped a whole bunch of receipts. Right. And so Ray J dropped a bunch of receipts because he's saying he was tired of people thinking that he was the one who leaked the sex tape with him and Kim back in the day. He was saying that, they got paid to do it. He said that Kim's mother, Kim Kardashian's mom, I forgot her name. I don't know all of their names. Someone can tell me in the chat. But Kim Kardashian's mother had she wanted to increase Kim's popularity. And so she went about it. She asked them to create a sex tape, and they went to a distributor and signed the contract. And Ray J said they both got like $400,000 and to create the tape. And he said he actually created one video. He said, and then the mother looked at the video, said, "No, I don't like this video. Do it again." Right. And so this is what the mother was, and so they end up finally getting it right. And they went to this distributor. The distributor put it out there, but they painted it as, oh, it's this leak tape. But we knew, Baba, back then when it came out that it, that it wasn't. It looked like, Baba, that it was, and I saw clips of it and stuff floating around. Exactly. It looked like a production. It didn't look like, somebody trying to capture a moment. And it looked like you said, like a production. They put it out there. As a result, what happened? Kim became popular. They got a show and all sorts of stuff. And so now Ray J
and an empire.
Empire. Yeah. I think she's worth $1 billion now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Her sister is too.
Yeah, worth $1 billion. And so Ray J now is, of course, crying foul, and he's like, I'm gonna expose the family, and they always trying to make the black man, and he's bringing in this, playing the race card, that the black man look bad, and it's like, Ray J, I have no sympathy for you, brother. I have no sympathy for you. I remember my grandmother say, when you lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. So I don't have any sympathy for you, brother. And so anyway, Candace Owens said this, Baba, and I do want to play a little bit of this clip. But she said this, and I actually agree with every word that she said in this film. And like I said, I'm not a Candace Owens supporter. The woman, but in this particular clip, Baba, and I'm gonna mute you because I hear the whole family in the back, Baba. So I just muted you. But I want her to be heard because she said some things that I absolutely agree with.
He's, by the way, still selling sex. I now hold the opinion that Kim Kardashian is a prostitute, and I'm not.
Oh, she said Kim Kardashian is a prostitute. She is.
Go figure.
I mean, you get what I'm saying, Baba? Like, she is. She literally had sex for money and fame. What do you call that? But go ahead, Baba. I'm gonna keep on, let it ride out. I'm gonna let it ride out.
Not going to edit this opinion. Kim Kardashian is a prostitute. Her mother is a pimp. Worse than a prostitute, Kim Kardashian is a corpse. She's a body without a soul. She is so emblematic of the society that we live in today, that if you are willing to degrade yourself, if you are willing to denigrate yourself, then our society, our American society, will give you more, right? How much are you willing to show us of your body? How much are you willing to give us of your daughter's body? That
Did she not lie, Baba, that we do live in a society that rewards whore culture? I mean, we do.
Yeah,
I mean, do we? Because I remember, when Cardi B was getting attacked, and people were saying, well, why is she showing off this and why is she showing off that? And Cardi B said, well, but y'all like it. Cardi B was like, y'all like it. She said, if you don't like my music and what I do, why aren't you all supporting Rhapsody? Rhapsody dropped a bomb album called Eve, where she's uplifting, black women and womanhood. And she's talking about, her skills, and she doesn't have to take off her clothes. She was like, y'all not running over there buying Rhapsody albums. You're buying my albums, So you all say that you want one thing, but then you go and you support another. So she said, we live in a society, Baba, that rewards whore culture. What are your thoughts on that before we continue?
We live in a capitalist society. We live in a society where you capitalize on situations, right? The lines are blurred. You have families who marry their daughters off because it's going to bring wealth into the family. Here we have a family where she said, you know what? You like to bone these black guys? Well, what if I could put you in a situation where you can bone a black guy? If everybody gonna know, everybody know everybody know you freaky anyway. So what if I can put you in a situation where you bone a black guy and we get it out there and the family makes $500,000? You're boning for free now. It's not like she took a virgin. It ain't like she took her virgin daughter to be deflowered by Ray J. Okay. She took a daughter who was doing the behavior anyway, created a situation they can get $500,000 and exposed the worst kept secret in the world. We just didn't know her name, but everybody that knew her knew what she was down with. So it's not like it was a real expose, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it was definitely pimping, and they parlayed it into an empire, and they've been eating black men ever since.
Come on, ever since.
They've been devouring black men ever since.
But
You know
Baba,
what
I
I'm
look
saying?
at these fools and I said, did y'all look at I'm like, is
Hey.
it me, Baba? Like, you don't see what they've done to black men, and you gonna be the different black man. You gonna be the different one. You look at what they did to Kanye. Look at what they did. What was the guy named? Reggie Bush. So yeah, Reggie Bush,
Lamar
Kanye,
Odom.
Lamar Odom.
Lamar
What
Odom.
about the other dude? That's the basketball player. He
I
has a couple of
forget.
babies by one of them. I forgot his
Yeah,
name.
I forget.
But every black guy
Almost
goes
there.
over there with the Kardashians and end up messed up in the head. You know, like something end up happening with the brother when he get over there.
Right.
You know, but brothers still line up. I don't understand it. They
Let's
still line up.
Well, I mean, I think Travis Scott is with one of them, and it's an empire. It's an empire and it's a business. And I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We know the story that they put out front for everybody to see. You know what I'm saying? But it's a business. I mean, Kim has 4 heirs to Kanye West. So Kanye worth $1 billion. She has 4 children by him.
Talk
That's
about
4
securing
heirs,
the bag.
right?
Talk
So
about
you talk
securing the
about
bag.
securing the bag. But that's not far from how European society was built. Okay, that's not far from it. Okay, it's really not a super long distance from a lot of African cultures where marriage was a business arrangement, not spontaneous love.
Right, facts.
Right. Where empires would join with one another and families would join with one another when there was a dowry price that needed to be paid if you was going to come through. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie. I think every guy my daughter's done dated should have gave me a dowry. Because of goddamn headaches I had when they left. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it should have dropped a deposit up in this month. You know what I'm saying? Because we need some sort of structure in our community that brings more accountability back to 2 people who fall for one another and create another human being.
Right, facts.
Right. And so I'm not advocating what Kris Kardashian did by no means. But at the same time, dealing with who she was dealing with, I kind of understand. She was gonna give it away anyway, Doc. It ain't like she was out there holding out. Now, if you're gonna be one, be a hot. I heard a brother tell me one time. I had a brother tell me one time. There's a difference between a hoe and a prostitute. Okay, a hoe is cheap. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, prostitute level, that's high price. $400,000. That's high price. That's high price.
So you saying the mother saying if you gonna do it, do it.
You gonna do it. Chris say you ain't finna bring home a bunch of half-breed babies up in here that I got to feed. So if you like chocolate, let me take you to the chocolate factory, and we gonna go on and do it this way. We gonna eat this way, and we're gonna eat them up along the way. Ray J got out. The smart thing he did, he didn't attach himself.
No, he didn't. He didn't attach himself.
He went on and he's parlayed his own come up into a fortune. You know what I'm saying? And so he's just trying to protect his brand right now because Kanye messed around and tell on everybody. So Ray J just getting out in front of it.
Right. What you say about Kanye going to tell on everybody?
Kanye messed around and tell on everybody tomorrow. You don't know what he gonna say. So Ray J just got out in front of it and say, hey, the whole thing was staged. We got half a meal. We got a bag for it. It is what it is.
Right. That's what he said.
Right.
He
said. And you could judge the mama and call her pimp or whatever. And she might look at you and say, well, how much did your daughter give up for free? How you like raising a new set of kids that ain't, you know what I'm saying? How you like raising your daughter's kids? Where is he at? So there's a lot of things that need to be fixed in this society when it comes to relationships. And we got to be careful about pointing a finger if we're not looking in the mirror ourselves at our own values and the situations that we're putting each other in, because they're feeding us on the other end that you only get with someone if you love them based on a feeling. And how many of us get these feelings and these feelings prove to be fleeting? Then you end up in a situation where that love turns into hate.
That's right.
The woman right there that's casting judgment, the prostitute, where she strategically placed herself in that white man's life that she's married to.
Did she?
Come on. And she leverages that relationship. So she ain't that far. The only thing is she ain't get 400,000 and she's stuck. That's the only difference. She didn't get 400,000 and she's stuck. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not calling her a prostitute or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But like she pointing that finger out, she need to point her finger back at herself, because there's some that will say that she's a bed wench and that she's tethered herself to white America. You know what I'm saying? By used her husband to tether herself to white America to keep her audience. So there's a lot of accusations that can be thrown around for likes and shares.
That's a fact. I'm gonna hear the rest of it, Bob. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Is the price of fame, and she did it. So no, it is not an exaggeration to say that Hollywood is satanic, because what could possibly be more satanic than that? What could possibly represent a more incestuous, if you will, relationship than a mother viewing her daughter's body, having sex, and selling it? This is where we're at. This is why we tell you not to follow the Hollywood type. This is why you should not allow your children to idolize Hollywood. This is why you should skip the Emmys, and you should skip the Grammys, and you should skip every other show, because the people that are receiving these statues, this form of idolatry, I will do anything for this statue. I will do anything for fame. I will abort my child. I will sell my child. You tell me what I have to do.
Baba, that's real though. I mean,
there's definitely truth in what she's saying.
Yeah, what she's saying, Baba, is they sell their souls for fame, for money. They Baba, they do. And they do.
That's
they
real.
Do people, yeah, that was real. What she just
said.
No,
that's real. You know what I'm saying? That's real. And the blowback that we receive in our community is that we have young people who emulate those attitudes, and they're not getting $400,000. They're not getting on. They're not getting in the door. They're emulating these attitudes. They're emulating these self-destructive attitudes and self-destructive cultural norms that's pushed by Hollywood and pushed by the media, and they're paying for it. You know, we look at some of the top rappers and they pushing the message, and I'm hip-hop and I'm not into censorship or anything like that, but I'm into balance. And when things are out of balance, I'm out here literally every day fighting a cultural war with young black boys who are torn, who are creating enemies that they don't even have, who want to rap, but they don't want to rap about anything they're learning. They want to rap about what they're watching. They're not even living it. But they want to emulate what they see. You're watching little girls who have fantastic minds, but still believe that their body is their greatest asset. And if they don't look a certain way, if they don't look the way that Instagram is telling them they should look, then they don't have value.
Right.
And so those of us who are on the ground, those of us who are educators, we have to fight that cultural war every day. So I definitely don't appreciate Hollywood. I don't appreciate social media. I don't appreciate YouTube. I don't appreciate the big entertainment companies that are controlling the algorithm. You know, so yes, there's truth in what she's saying. Absolutely.
There's only 20 seconds left. Here we go, Baba.
Okay.
These are not the people that we should be following. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Candace.
Okay, so that was it then. So she said, basically, Baba, that's it. These aren't the people that we should be following. And I couldn't agree with her. I couldn't agree with her more, Baba.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like
she's
you said,
right.
Yeah, you know.
But look how balanced you are, Dr. Maya. She had on a White Lives Matter t-shirt at the start of the show. And then she made a good point at the end. See, y'all, it ain't all about absolutes. We can pull little pieces of truth. You can pull a lesson from everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, Baba. What you said at the beginning of the show? What she had for Baba?
The show she had on a White Lives Matter shirt. At the end of the show, she was like, "These aren't the people that you should follow." You know what I'm saying? She went to church on us at the end of the show. You know what I'm saying? So no, man, it's we live in an amazing time. And there's so much information out here, and human life is like an open sore right now, you know, because there's no privacy anymore, you know, and that could be a good thing, but that can also be a horrible thing, right? I think we should take advantage of it and teach our children how to think critically, because they're seeing so many things, you know, that we can't shield them from.
That's
right. And so now it's time to teach them to be critical thinkers, and that's what we do at the Uhuru Academy. All right. We've been around y'all since 2010. We have a virtual online private school that's K through 12. So if you are trying to pull your babies out, or if you're homeschooling, but you don't want to be the teacher, partner with us. We have an adult education program called Operation Reconnect, 16 and up, right? We also coach other programs. We help other programs build and maintain their institutions as well. Shout out to UASC International, one of my proudest consultation achievements out here in Columbia, South Carolina. Beautiful 4-acre campus, teaching agriculture, teaching STEM, teaching the arts. Beautiful campus. I've enrolled my 3 students here at UASC International, right? But now Uhuru Academy Online, we global. We just enrolled 3 students in Saudi Arabia. Matter of fact, they were fans of this show. They actually saw me on this podcast and enrolled their children. We have children enrolled in London now, right? And we come together every day, right? And yes, they're getting their reading, their writing, their arithmetic, but we're also dealing with them on what's your vision? Where are you going? Why are you at school? What are you trying to do? I want to be an engineer. Well, how do you become an engineer? Because that's about to be your curriculum for life. As long as you're here, your curriculum is going to be geared towards where it is you're trying to go. That's what the Uhuru Academy is all about. And yes, they're learning about self. They're learning about our history, but not to become an African of the past. They learn about our history so they can understand the present. They understand the present so they can take control of the future.
Absolutely. And I'm showing the website right now, family.
Yes.
You can go right here to the uhuruacademy.com. Okay. Yes. The moderators, please put the link in the chat. uhuruacademy.com. And I'll also make sure
I'm going to say one more thing, Dr. Mind.
Okay, go ahead.
Y'all be on the lookout for uhuruacademy.org. We are about to launch a new website that's going to be a full-fledged learning platform. Not just K through 12, but adult. You'll be able to do certifications on there for cybersecurity, blockchain, and it's going to be a revenue generating opportunity for teachers and instructors. Anybody that wants to build a course, you'll be able to build a course at the Uhuru Academy and generate revenue from it. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Big things happening.
Absolutely, family. And make sure that you come on over here to edanimeproductions.com. I'm getting the website up. Getting the website up. We got so many programs, Bob. It's no reason, why our baby shouldn't be sharp. You worried about the Woman King. Well, we got Meltrek. All right. Meltrek is an animated hip-hop animated series that teaches children about the history, culture, and achievements of Black people from a Black perspective. All right. Meltrek episode 1 is right here on the left. It's called Exploring Ancient Africa. And the whole objective, Baba, of this film was to teach our children that our history does not begin with slavery.
Come on now.
You know what I mean, Baba? So in the film, we talk about Africa, being the place of, the birthplace of humanity. We talk about the melanin. We talk about Nile Valley history and culture and landscapes and pyramids and all of that good stuff. Then we take them over west where they learn about the Mali Songhai in Ghana, then we take them to Zimbabwe and the Congo. Then we take them down, to the Zulu and Zulu in South Africa. So they learn about that. And then in Meltrek episode 2, they learned about, the pre-Columbian Americas. They learned that there were Black and brown people here in the Americas prior to the arrival of Christopher Columbus. So they learned about the mound builders, the Hopewell, Adena, and Mississippians. Then we take them into Mesoamerica where they learn about, the Olmecs, Mayans, and Aztecs, and then take them into South America where they learn about the Incas. And so we have 2 films, and I know you see DVD. So some people may say, I don't have a DVD. You can go right on over to Amazon and get the digital version of the films. It's right on Amazon. Add it to your child's digital library.
That's right.
And for each film, we have a storybook. We have an activity book. We're in the process of uploading a curriculum, Baba. So a curriculum will be available by February for Meltrek episode 1 and Meltrek episode 2. All right. And I
want to shout out to whoever wrote the rhymes because the music is dope on there.
Hey, thank you, Baba. That means a lot because I know you're a hip hop head all day.
I'm like, okay, somebody wrote them rhymes.
Yeah,
okay.
I wrote it for Meltrek episode 1.
All right, I
wrote it for Meltrek
episode 1. Doc wrote that. Okay,
Meltrek episode
you did a
1.
great job with that. The music is nice. Yeah.
Appreciate it, Baba. Thank you so much. And so, family, head on over to Conscious Ingenuity. Conscious Ingenuity is it's a program that utilizes STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics, right, to build character, confidence, and capabilities. Children are exposed to coding, electric circuits, robotics, cybersecurity, songwriting, storyboarding, animation, history, and more. The overall goal, again, is to build character, confidence, and capabilities, but to also develop their critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, right? Teamwork, all right, teamwork skills, team building skills, creativity, right? All of those different things, communication, all right? So, family, make sure you come on over here to Conscious Ingenuity and sign up. Thank you so much, Bob. Sign up, family, sign up. Come on over here, sign up. And when we have something going on right now, we've been literally offering it exclusively through the Uhuru Academy in the summers. So in the summertime, make sure that you sign up through the Uhuru Academy, but sign up also here because, Bob, I'm in the process of creating a 2-week quarterly boot camp, STEAM boot camp. So I'm going to offer 2 weeks quarterly STEAM boot camp. Each quarter. And so yeah, Bob. So tell the people really quickly, Bob, what was your experience with Conscious Ingenuity this summer? Because I'm going to tell
you something. We had a powerful experience with Conscious Ingenuity with our summer program. The children were able, not only did they get to learn about the concepts of STEAM and circuitry and engineering, right? But they got the opportunity to actually physically work on a STEM kit. Right, the microbit computers came in the mail. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just the president, I'm also a client. You know what I'm talking about? The STEM kits came in the mail. My children were super excited about it. The babies got the opportunity to code and actually program their microbit computers. When you talk about sparking a love of STEM, man, you're second to none. We had a great time. And to get to do it with Dr. Y'all know she's creating a whole army of Black engineers. Like she makes engineers for a living. Don't let the podcast fool you. You know what I'm talking about? She makes engineers. She has successful podcasts, and she can write a mean flow. You know what I'm saying? So definitely check out Conscious Ingenuity. We are very proud and humbled as a school, as an institution, to be partnered, to be considered a community partner of the Conscious Ingenuity program. Y'all, our children, they don't need to just be consumers of the tech. They need to be creators of the tech.
Absolutely, Baba.
In position to be creators.
And Baba, what you said was powerful. You said we don't want our children to only be consumers of the tech. We want them to be producers. And that's something that Booker T. Washington encouraged us to do. He said, in order to be independent, you got to be able to produce what you consume. Everything that you consume, you should be able to produce. So if our children are utilizing cell phones, they should be able to produce a cell phone. If our children are utilizing computers, they should be able to build computers. If our children are utilizing cars, we should be able to build cars. Ashe. And so that's the only way that you can be an independent people. If you are able to produce what you consume. Ashe. And so the last program I want to bring to your attention, family, is the Asafo training camp. We just established this, but Baba Imhotep, Fatiyu, and myself, we established it this summer. It's a summer training camp for young boys between the ages of 12 and 14. And we launched it this summer. We're going to be doing it every summer. As long as we have the resources, Baba, we're going to make it happen every summer for our young boys. And
that's right. Shout out to Baba Imhotep.
Yes. And this particular camp, family, focuses on manhood development. Our boys need it, Baba. They need it. Our girls need it too now. We got to have something, for our girls. But I was really compelled, Baba, to do it in Baltimore for our young men, because our young guys are getting swallowed up, into the gang culture and and all sorts of stuff. And so I said, what can I do? Just living here in Baltimore, what can I do? To try to deter our young boys from that life and to get them to understand what manhood is really about. And what it came to me, you gotta surround them with men. Dr. Ma'at, you want them to be men, you got to surround our young boys with men, because iron sharpens iron. So shout out to Baba Imhotep, Baba Odisa, and Baba Amuru, who spent day in and day out with these young boys, teaching them about character, teaching them about the Nguzo Saba, the
I say.
principles of Ma'at, doing physical fitness activities, urban safety, self-defense, breaking
say.
bread with them, playing chess to develop critical thinking skills. And so it was a beautiful program. I have a beautiful video, Baba, that's coming soon so people can see, what they actually went through. So family, make sure you sign your youngster up. Okay, sign your youngster up at the Asafo training camp. If you're not in Baltimore, and you want to participate in this camp, just come down here for a week, grab an Airbnb, and post up for a week while your son goes through this. You get what I'm saying, Bob? It's necessary. It's necessary.
I say, beautiful work, y'all. It's beautiful work going on, all over the place. You got to seek it out. It's here. We have to promote it. So y'all make sure you're liking and sharing. Make sure you're tagging people, letting people know what's going on. Share the link. Don't just share it on your social media. Send out a mass text. You don't know who's in your phone.
That's right.
That may be ready to take advantage of some of these opportunities. Y'all, if we don't spread the word, if we don't circulate the word, we can't circulate the dollars. Okay?
Come on.
All right.
Come on.
We have to make this thing. We're going to make this thing happen. It's happening. We're just asking you to join.
That's right. Like
All
you
right?
said, it's happening. And
It's
that's
happening.
why, Bob, and that's why people kill me. What's the solution? What's the solution? We have solutions.
Yeah.
We've already implemented solutions. You just got to get on board and start supporting these
That's it. That's
absolutely.
it. And peace to Mama Zeke. Mama Zeke.
Yeah,
her daughter enjoyed the summer camp this summer. Yeah.
Bobby, because you were Bobby, you kept those children. I said, Bobby got a lot of energy, man. I got off. Look, Bobby, I got off with the children. Said, whoa, Bobby, you kept them going, 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Teaching them, about the African contributions to STEAM. And
yes.
you kept them going the entire time. It was a beautiful camp.
Oh, yeah. That's what we do. You keep them engaged, keep them energized. You have to match that energy. My children know in the morning at the Hoover Academy every morning when it ask Jalen, Bob was saying,
oh, yeah.
Every morning, Bob was ready.
Yep.
Let's get it in, right? I'm excited to be there. I'm energized to be there every day because I know I'm a part of the solution. And so I walk in gratitude, Dr. Maya. We walk in gratitude for this work. It's not a struggle. It feels like a victory to me.
That's right.
And so we walk in gratitude, and you want to work with people who enjoy the work that they do.
Absolutely.
We don't attract people to our programs by shaming them. We don't go, black folks don't love black folks. See you black folks ignorant. We don't do that.
No,
we say, look, y'all, we built something beautiful over here. Clean glass, dirty glass. Just come check it out.
Just come check it out.
You'll recognize it when you see it.
Ashe.
So y'all support Africans in education, support Black-owned businesses. All right. We have to do that, y'all. Why not? There's some beautiful Africans out here doing some beautiful things. Some of y'all in the chat right now.
Absolutely.
If I was in the chat, I'd be dropping my business. Dr. Mott ain't gonna be mad at you.
No, drop it.
Yeah,
drop it.
You have a Black-owned business, a website, or a way that we can support you. We're a village. Don't be ashamed to drop your business in the chat. Do that.
That's right.
Right. So y'all don't get me on my soapbox.
We good, Baba.
I've had a great day today. I talking to a sister today that called and it's a trip before you and I talked today. A sister out of Houston called and she watches your show. She's seen me on here and she was like, I want you to, if you could share, how do y'all keep going? How do y'all keep doing what you're doing? Because I want to start my business. I want to launch my business, but I just have a hard time sticking with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just so inspired by you and by Dr. Ma'at and what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, that's why we do it.
Ashe.
That's why we do it. You never know who's listening. You never know whose life that you might be touching. You never know.
Absolutely.
Right. And so y'all keep doing it. Y'all who are out there spreading a positive message, don't quit. Don't feel like no one is listening. That is not true. You're saving a life. You don't have to know a life to save a life.
That's right.
So just keep putting in the work, family. I thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. If you're spreading the word, if you're letting people know about the Uhuru Academy, Conscious Ingenuity, Mail Trek, the Dr. Ma'at podcast, thank you. Because we're in a cultural war, family.
Yes, say it, Baba.
Right? No joke.
Baba, we need to go. Baba, I think we need to go live. Probably on. I know Thursday I got Baba Ashwell Quasi's coming through. You know he gonna kill it. Ooh, he's gonna kill it. He's coming through on Thursday. But I'm thinking like on Friday or Saturday, Baba, we gotta go live to talk about that. Because I don't think a lot of people understand that we are in a cultural war.
Yes.
And I don't even think they understand that. In what is it? Let's talk about what's culture. Let's talk about, what's culture? What's Black culture? What is African culture? What does it mean that and what does culture do for people? I'm sitting here thinking about Nana Marimba Annie when she says, culture is our immune system. I want to say she said it was our immune system.
That's right.
It protects us. And so I want to get into what is culture, the benefits of culture, and what kind of culture do we currently have, and then what's happening here in America when we say cultural war. So I really want to unpack that with you more towards the end of the week, Bob. We got to get that.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Just let me know. I'm down.
Bob. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so family, join me back here on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Baba Ashwell Quasi will be in the building. For some of you, I don't even want to ruin it. Just come in. If you ever heard of him, get here. Baba Ashwell Quasi will be in the building. Absolutely, a brilliant elder. He's been in the war. Been on the front lines. For African liberation and sovereignty for decades. Came up under Dr. Ben. Yeah, he's a straight up general. So join me back here, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Thursday. All right, for Baba Ashwell Quasi. If I don't see you on Thursday, make sure you join me on Sunday for the Read Book Club. We're discussing chapter, I think, 4 or 5 of The Color of Law by Richard Rothstein. In this particular chapter, Baba focuses on white flight. So we're going to talk about, the causes of white flight and the benefits of white flight, right? And how they incentivize white flight. So we're going to go ham this Sunday talking about that. So if I don't see you Thursday, family, join me on Sunday. And Baba and I may be live because, Baba, you know how we do. Sometimes sometimes Baba, I don't know. So Baba and I may or may not be live this
the
Friday.
Grind is real. The grind is real.
Absolutely. So we don't catch you. Have a Black-tastic week, family. Peace and Black power.
Black power.